like
Yeah.
for
Not a lot of
business
people do
owners,
that though.
yeah, not a lot of people do that. They like even with like the brokers and agents that I know, they just post
Mm,
online, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like there's nothing wrong with posting on Facebook, but
right.
it marketing is much more than that. Like you really need to study how to do it because every minute like the online landscape is changing, so you have to
That's true.
adapt. Like
Right.
right now, I have a TikTok account and I'm posting on TikTok. And last year, I didn't even know what TikTok was, and I just downloaded TikTok because I listened to Gary V.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
so
Yeah,
he
yeah,
was
yeah.
telling like last year pa ni, like around siguro October or November, like he kept on telling people during his interviews, his talks, that you have to download TikTok. TikTok is gonna be the next big thing, and you have to also focus on LinkedIn. So at the time, I wasn't really focusing on LinkedIn. Like I had a LinkedIn account, but I wasn't using it. And I
Mm.
didn't even know what TikTok was. I was like, what's TikTok? And then I downloaded it and I'm like, these are like 7-year-old kids. I can't relate. And
Nice.
then, but then I just started, posting on TikToks, and I would get like, I don't know, 0 views or 1 view or two
Yeah,
views. So
right.
like barely anything. I had like six followers at that time. I had 6 followers for pila ka months. And then here comes the pandemic. TikTok just exploded. So now a lot of people are like people that I know, like my friends in Cagayan de Oro, some brokers that I know, they're on TikTok already, and the
Nice.
mga artista, mga influencers, they're on TikTok. So these are the early adapters. Before, only the early adapters were on TikTok. These are the
Right.
kids, 7 to 14, so they adapt early. The influencers, those who
Right.
have a large following on either YouTube or Instagram. So sila ang una na ni-add sa TikTok, and then of course mga artista. So that's who I
Right.
saw on TikTok in the beginning of the pandemic. And then the rest of the people is just gonna follow. So I'm still posting on TikTok until now. And in terms of
Right.
conversion, wala pa gyud conversion. But that's the way it is magud with
Right.
marketing. Like you do the work
Yep.
first, and then you can expect results later. Sometimes it's gonna take years.
Yeah. Yeah. As
But
you
now I
said
have
earlier.
120 followers on TikTok.
Right.
So, pero there was this, nag-stall na siya actually karon, but there was a time na when Kirby is actually the one posting on TikTok, not me. So
Nice.
Kirby posts on TikTok for me. And then when he started, I had like 6 followers on TikTok. And
Nice.
then he started posting like one video per day. And then it became 15 followers in one day ha. And then the next day it became like 30 plus, and then the next day
Right.
50. So mga nasa 10, around 10 to 20 per day. That's the number of followers that was added to my TikTok follower account, TikTok account.
Right.
So now I'm at 220, but it kind of stalled already. So maybe
Mm.
I don't know. There's a cap, and I have to do something else to
Mm.
I know. But just posting already added so many followers to my TikTok account, and
Right.
that's why I noticed that a lot of people who you don't even know are like viral on TikTok or have so many are influencers on TikTok. So it really
Yes.
pays to adapt
Right.
early. So even though I could not relate to TikTok, and at that time only kids were on TikTok, like around 7 to 14. And
Right.
then nagsayo-sayo lang sila, they were dancing and they were singing, and I don't think I can relate, but even if you can't relate, even if you can't understand the platform at first, you just need to be on it, and then
Yeah.
eventually you'll get it anyway.
Yeah. That's true. And what I think
So you
is
need to start a TikTok account.
yeah, 2021 I'm gonna start promoting yeah, that's true. That's
Sige,
part of
sige,
my
sige.
plan. What I think then is sa TikTok, it's very strong. I think even in traditional business, word of mouth is really strong. It doesn't really.
It's very strong, and you don't have to dance. You don't have to dance on TikTok. You can talk. You
Yeah,
can
just
talk for
talk.
a minute and post it on TikTok, and just make sure that there's there are texts, mga texts,
Yeah.
mga emoticons, because TikTok is it's very playful,
Right.
and
Right.
older people are now on TikTok. Like dili na
That's
mga kids lang.
Yeah, my wife is on TikTok and she's older than me. So older people are on TikTok.
Pantay ka diyan.
Yeah. So I really think no. I mean, if you have like those 200 followers, eventually, like I like what you said, na the ROI kicks in a few years. Kasi let's just say you are consistent in the next years for TikTok, and that creates word of mouth for you. You're like top of mind. You basically, since these are kids, you're the only real estate na broker that they know right now because you're on TikTok. So
Yes, that's right. That's
when
right.
the time comes that their parents are gonna decide, they might consider you. It's just
Yeah.
I remember this because I joined
This
AdCon.
mom, I saw this broker on
Right,
TikTok, so you might want to contact her.
right,
Because even right now, that's happening right now with Facebook. Like the ones that contact me first, although not all the time, because a lot of
right,
people, like 50 to 60, are already on Facebook. Diba?
right,
Facebook
right,
is already very mainstream. But before, in the earlier days when I started as a broker,
right.
the kids were the children are the one that contact me first, like not really children, like the kids
College
mga
students, yeah,
20s, mga
right,
college students or mga yuppies. They're the ones that would contact me
yeah,
because they're the ones who are online, and then after that they would connect me with their parents, and later on they would give me their parents numbers because we're looking for a house, please call my mom, something like
right.
that. So that's gonna
That's
happen
true.
on TikTok eventually, and I haven't
Right,
really seen a lot of brokers on TikTok yet. There are
that's
already
nice.
mga American brokers, but
Yeah.
sa Philippines, I think wala pa nga brokers that are on TikTok and that are posting real estate related content. I
Yep.
haven't seen pa.
Wala pa. I
But sa
remember this.
America, daghan na.
Yeah, I remember this quote kasi I joined um Ad World Conference. He is like one of the big honchos of Ogilvy Advertising, and the title of his talk was "Your marketing is so efficient that it no longer." People are really in love with data. They want to see like if I spend this, how much I make. But really, even before the data came in, advertising was already there, marketing was already there, and there are just some like actions that happened afterwards giving you that effect. So sometimes people focus so much on I spend this, I'm supposed to make that, but sometimes you have to spend now. You don't really get to measure the results, but eventually it will. But you just have to be consistent, and that's that's where the friction point is mostly for business owners, because they want to spend now, and I want to see the return in 3 months, in 1 year. But there are other forms of
Yes.
effective marketing that don't do that for you, but they are effective. But they don't give you those like analytics, those measurements. Na if you spend this, you make this in this projection. But eventually it does, and I think it relates to TikTok that way. Like yun nga yung mga like the links like to the parents or to the kids. And eventually when they are ready to buy their own homes, again, you're the only real estate broker that they know right now. So like
Yes.
when so when a real estate conversation comes up in the family, I see this girl, she's posting, and then introduce it. You never know. You never know.
Yeah.
That's the good thing, and but to other business owners, that's also a bad thing because they never know.
They never.
But I think that if it creates an opportunity, to connect with the customer, to generate a lead, I think you should do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you should start being on TikTok.
Right. TikTok, Facebook, everywhere you can be, because there's no other place.
Everywhere you can. Because you can't depend on one platform.
That's true.
Like for example, if you have 1 million followers on YouTube, and then one day YouTube decides to shut down or something, though that's
Right.
very unlikely. But if they decide to shut down,
Right.
then patay ka. But if
Right.
you're also on Instagram, you're also on Facebook, you're also on TikTok, you're also on IG. Oh, I already said that. But if you're
Right.
also on all the other social media platforms, then you'll just migrate your audience to
Right.
YouTube.
Yeah, and again, I remember another line from this. I follow Seth Godin, and one of his emails said, "Na we're at the point. Don't quote me on this, but like the gist of it was like we're at the point right now that it's more wise to explore rather than to exploit, because this is proven by the airline industry. Because when the pandemic happened, all the best practices was put in the trash bin because it will never work right now. So now we are at a
That's
point
right.
where it makes more sense to explore new possibilities rather than exploit the things that used to work before, because we have best practices. But it just so happens that right now we are no longer at that point where we can just copy someone else's proven business method in the last 100 years because something happened this year that made that irrelevant and obsolete. So
Yes.
yun, right now is I mean it should have been doing the exploration before, but right now we should be doing it 100% because we
Yes,
can't
that's
do the
correct.
same. Yeah, yun lang.
And
just wanted to
I just
start.
want to share also something that's related to also to marketing and branding,
Right.
because I saw this vlogger online. I wasn't really following her initially, but she just showed up on my home feed. Her
Right.
name is Jen. I'm not sure if you're familiar with her, but her name is Jen Barangan. I think Jen
All right.
Barangan, and she's a
All
flight
right.
stewardess. And
Mm.
last October, she created a post on YouTube that went viral. The title
Mhm.
of her post was "I lost my job as a flight attendant in Cebu
Right.
Pacific." And then that post went viral. It got like 2 million plus views. I think maybe now it would have more views. And when I checked her other posts, so I checked her channel, her other posts, like her regular, like the regular number of views per post would be around like 30, 50, 60,000. So 2 million was really like a lot back considering the
Mm.
normal number that she would get.
Right.
And then after that, she had like at that time she had 100,000 followers because that post went viral. She's just a flight stewardess, a flight attendant, but she just also posts on YouTube. So she just
Right.
posts about her life, tips on how to ace the Cebu Pacific FA interview, stuff like that.
Right.
So parang side hobby lang niya ang YouTube.
Nice.
And then, so she had 100,000 followers when she posted that video, and then it went viral. So like after 2 weeks, the subscriber count that got added to her account was, I don't know, she got an additional 300,000 followers, so na 400,000 na siya. And then after a month, 600,000 na. 600,000 na. And then in November, she got a job offer from AirAsia in Cebu Pacific.
See?
So grabe ang power sa personal branding. Like if
Yeah.
people know that I'm Jem Barangan, I'm a flight attendant of Cebu Pacific, and then you lost your job, and then you got hired immediately, just a month after.
Yep. That's true.
So
Very
that's
powerful.
the power of influence. It's really
Nice.
influence. When you have influence, people will listen to what you say.
Yep.
And
And
the
there's
beauty
this-
of this,
Mm.
yes, okay, sige, share
There's this
siya.
thing lang with that hinders people from taking their identity seriously, and especially in
Ah,
social media or internet. They think like I'm not enough, the imposter syndrome. So
yeah, like they're not
yeah.
enough.
Yeah, they're not enough. Like, why would people listen to me?
Yes.
Yeah, but
I,
what
I
I
know
learned,
people who say that. Like I don't want to post because
right,
not many people are gonna watch, or I don't know how to speak English. And you don't have to speak English.
right,
There are a
that's
lot of
correct.
vloggers na Tagalog lang or Gabisaya.
Yeah, tama. Yeah, and it's really because I want to look at it in a logical sense. If there is something that creates opportunities for you, just do it. I mean,
Yeah.
why? I mean,
Yes, that's
people are
correct.
gonna, whether you post or not, people are gonna say something bad about you. So just post it. Just
Yeah.
add value and do everything. And me, for you, I'm sure for you, Alex, for me, I've been posting it and not caring about what other people say. You can
Yeah.
even witness in some of my posts that I have negative comments in my post, and that's fine with me. It adds publicity to me. And the one thing that I've also learned aside from that is, okay, so we talk about imposter syndrome, and as an
Imposter
authority,
syndrome.
yeah, as an authority figure, if you want to be like to like enforce your authority in a certain industry or a certain topic, you will have to be polarizing as well,
What does
because
that mean?
when you have to drop a polarizing opinion that is going to offend other people. You know why?
Okay.
Because the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So for example, you can't please everybody, no? So when you post
Yes.
something that resonates to this person becomes a fan, right? And when like
Mm.
a total hater goes in that post and hates on your post,
Yeah.
your fan will defend you. And it's that polarizing opinion gives you that like strong personal bond between you and your readers and your audience. So again, it's actually good when you share your value post or you share your peace of mind, that is in good intention, and then people have negative reactions towards it, it actually does better. It has good effects with your loyal fans or your first 100 fans or your loyal people, because they will see the real you. They will also connect more with your personal brand. They will defend you to the death. And also it puts you as the like the not the watered down, washed out, person in the internet. You actually have an opinion and you're willing to share it, and it's okay. And
Yes.
overall, it just creates that, people when I post something about, when I post like, and then intentionally parang I imply like traditional marketing is not good. And then
And then
but
they
that is
react.
not,
They
and
react.
then they react, and then actually people who enjoy my post, they personally message me. And then they tell me, don't listen to that guy, and I really love the way you posted it. Someone has to say it.
How do you respond to like negative, nega comments like that?
If I have time, I engage with them, and I try to argue with them, because it gives light to the topic. It gives
Um,
me like it gives me permission to add more insights. So I know that they will still hate me, but to those people that support me and actually believe in what I post, it makes them. I would like to assume that it makes them, you know, fall in love with my content even more. And
yes.
given na haters sila. You can't monetize the haters. You can sell to the haters. But when you respond to the haters, your prospects, your people who like you will like you even more. Dahil mga ano yan eh, mga
Fans ni Ruel.
personal branding secrets. So
Personal branding secrets.
yeah, so
But I know also,
yeah.
marketing talaga itong topic karon ba?
Yeah!
Reso,
It's that.
marketing solutions, good. Back to what you said about like
Yeah, go
offline
ahead.
marketing or traditional marketing na it's not really bad, but it's just
Yeah.
overpriced. Like that's a more apt term siguro.
Yeah.
It's not bad, it's just overpriced, especially for the results
Yeah.
that it's giving. It's also, it can't be tracked. That's the hardest thing siguro
Yeah, that's the hardest thing,
oh,
that it cannot be
about on
tracked.
offline marketing. You cannot
But I
track it.
I still believe in traditional marketing. I mean, it has its own place. Like, for example, you sell, you sell um feeds for pigs, for pigs. You can't run that on Facebook, because these people are not on Facebook. They are on their AM radio. Na sila sa bukid. Dito sila. So, you can't reach them through Facebook. So, it has its own place. Like, for example, you're selling a low-end product na ma-afford with the lower end of the market. Syempre, you also have to think, will my message, if I put it out on Facebook, will it reach my target demographics? So there are still like pockets in the market where social media cannot reach, and you just have to identify. But what about those na your market is in social media? Why would you force it in the airwaves, in the TV, in the billboards, if you can actually get the same results and sometimes even better results using online marketing? Let's say Facebook advertising, Facebook posting. So it's just like it's a vice versa thing, where you just really have to know who your demographics are and if the medium that you choose is going to reach them. So I'm not putting like radio or TV or newspaper or magazines, billboards in the back seat, but um, what I'm saying is it has to be in line with who your demographics are. Because if you're trying to sell a BMW over the radio, no one will buy.
Yes,
But if you're also trying to sell um, poultry, feeds on Facebook, I don't think someone will buy. Aside kung pang sabong, because a lot of people
sabong.
do they watch sabong videos on Facebook. So yeah, you can make sales out of that. But if mga poultry, like lower end markets na mga product, more on commodities, you will not really fare well in social media. But for real estate, financial, you know, I have yet to hear a real estate na brokerage who will run a TV ad locally. Locally, I haven't, but they are getting success with social media posting, Lamudi, all of these things, because again, the demographics, it works for them. Yeah, play
Going
safe
back
now.
to your going back to your past clients, like what was
Right.
the biggest revenue that they earned because they hired you to run Facebook ads for them?
Biggest revenue. Should I drop
Yeah.
a number? But there's
Yeah.
this client where we've already generated more than 100 million in a year for them.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
like,
So
how much was the increase? Like, how much were they earning initially, and
it's a major increase.
pila ka percent ang increase?
I
So
would
the
not.
people will really kanang see ba, will be able to picture out like how much can they earn. Like for example, they're earning let's say 100,000 per month, like right now in
Right,
sales. So
right.
how much ang multiplier?
How much? Actually, it would be. I would be lying if I give like a number. It depends kasi with your offer. So for this particular na client, their offer is big. So their cheapest transaction is 75,000. So that's why the
Mm.
sales is also very high. But let's just say that when Facebook disappears for some reason, they still have 10,000 numbers of prospects to call.
Wow. So how much what about the percentage? Okay, for example,
Ah,
like that's a high ticket man
right,
na ano
right,
product. So let's say food. Okay, if you place it in percentage, then it won't really matter how much ang product.
right. Um, for me
Like
naman for food,
average siguro for your clients, average like
right.
percentage
So
increase in revenue after running an ad.
right. For this client, I have a client who has been consistently increasing 4% of their sales every week. So we've been running the campaign for more than 6 months already. So yun lang. That's the only number I can disclose. 4% every week na increase in sales.
That's 16% per month, di ba? It's pretty good.
Incremental pa.
Oh. Yeah, so after 6 months na, so how much is that already?
Yeah, but you also have to give kudos to the business owners because it takes like humility to accept na this is the new thing and we're gonna do it and we're gonna do it with you. So I'm
Yeah.
just humbled to be working with these types of people who who are willing to explore rather than exploit what used to work. And yun, I think it's a mixture of a lot of marketing. So most of our role as Sareso for them, what we do is customer acquisition and staying top of mind. But we
Mm-mm.
also have other campaigns in SMS. Also have other campaigns in Food Panda and on their Facebook and their Facebook stories. So we go everywhere: Instagram stories, Facebook stories, Facebook news feed, Instagram feed. And then for us, we do the Facebook ads for new customer acquisition. We make sure that we give the good offer for them to try our products first, and then after that, upon the delivery of the product, we send them the menu so that anytime they can call us and order from the restaurant. And then that's it. It really is. It's like a mix. It has to be like, it's not just mag-Facebook ads ko then udako akong sales. No, it's a campaign. It consists of multiple na parang mechanisms to make it really work to maximize kasi you're spending eh. You want to find out how you can make more out of what you're spending. So, yun, we do that for them. So, for the spend, let's just say they spend around 15,000 per restaurant. So, that's good enough for restaurants. Then,
Mm. What about the characteristics? Like, what are the top 3 characteristics
mm,
you believe that every entrepreneur should have?
top 3 characteristics.
Because being an entrepreneur is not easy.
Right,
Like,
right,
there are really a lot of challenges along the way. You have to be, like resilient.
right.
So for you,
Yes.
what
Yeah,
are the top
definitely.
3?
Resilience is number one as an entrepreneur. Did you know 8 hours ago, si Elon Musk launched a rocket to test drive before sila mo adto sa Mars, and then
Really?
it actually crash landed.
Where did
And
it
then
crash?
on his Twitter feed, he actually said na parang along the lines of it crash landed, but we got the data that we needed.
Nice.
Hell yes, SpaceX team. That's what he said. So it's the resilience really, like every failure is not the end of the road. It's just an opportunity for you to like gather what went wrong and what could you do better the next time. So resilience is very important. Number two, for me is to always check on your cash flow. So dili magpataka o gasto, no? So sometimes we get big projects, then kalitrag blow up yung bank account. Palit na kag sakyanan, palit na kag chuvanes. But so dili na ka mag ano, you have to
Check
you
your
have
cash
to
flow.
check your cash flow and also consider the cost of hiring someone always. Like right now I'm at a point where when we increase our monthly revenue, I always think what positions can we open and hire for, because we can afford to hire this position already. So yun, your cash flow as a business. And then number 3 characteristics is never ghosting people.
Never ghost.
Yeah, never ghost. So when it's time to work, you just really have to work with, even when it's really bad. The client hates you so much because you're not able to bring the results that you promised. You still have to show up.
Yeah.
So you have to be there all the time and see it through. If they hate you, if they curse you after it, then it's fine. But just show up, because how you handled the situation is more important actually than whether you failed or not. So sometimes successful campaigns in the eyes of the client is still bad because of the way you handled it. Although it was successful, you met the KPI, you met the results, the guarantees were delivered, but the way you handled it was not good, then it's still a bad overall, a bad experience for the client. So just show up even it's failing. Don't ghost people. Just be there for them.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, it's the same way with, I think, all the marketing, with
Right.
sales, like being a real estate broker. Like,
Right.
even though it's not all like roses, diba, in real estate.
Yeah.
Like, not all clients will love you. Like, there are times that things will happen and they will blame you, they will get mad at you, but it's
Right.
okay. Like, I just try my best to resolve the situation.
Yeah.
Like, even
Yeah.
if, for example, it's the developer's fault, like the developer did not turn over on time, things like that, and the client really
Yeah.
needs the property already, and they end up blaming you because you're more easy to blame. You're there.
Yeah.
They can contact you. So even if they're calling and then you don't want to answer, you have to answer,
I have to answer. That's
because
true.
you cannot ghost your client. And even though, like, I've experienced, like, just a couple of months ago, something happened, and then the client was not happy with my renter.
Right.
But still, I did my best to resolve the situation. And then in the end, it became okay. So conflicts are like that, but even though your client is not happy at the moment, it won't last forever.
Yeah.
You can still do something about it. So what's
Right.
important is you handle it the best way you can, and you don't leave your client lang. Just be there.
Right. I agree. That's true. Although I'm not saying
So,
that I have never ghosted someone before. I did. And, we just learn from it. It's an amateur mistake.
so nakakigighost na client.
Yeah. It's normal. But it doesn't mean that you have permission to do it again and again and again. Especially the good clients.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, relationship is what matters the most
Right. Right.
in this
Right.
industry. Relationship with everybody, like, not just your clients, with everybody in general. Like, you
Correct.
just have to be a good person to everybody.
That's true. That's true.
Okay,
Especially to
so
your wife.
yes, I agree. I agree. The wife
Sige.
is the first priority,
The first client.
the first client.
The VIP. Sige.
Okay, so if there are business owners out there, or maybe realtors like me, or people who are in sales who want to reach you and hire your services, hire Rezo Marketing, so how can they reach you?
Right. So you can reach us at resomarketingconsulting.com. There's a simple form there where you can request for a discovery call with us. Let's see if your goals, we can help you reach them. And yeah, that's it. So, but most of the time, it takes a while for us to send out proposals right now, because we have a lot in queue. But if you naman are in a hurry, I can refer you to good people, people that I personally mentored. So I have 5 na people right now that are vetted by me who can do exactly the things that I'm doing. at the moment. So I can give you a referral with them. So don't be afraid to reach out. My website is rowilruelo.com. And if you want to learn Facebook advertising yourself, you don't want to outsource it to someone, you can join the Leads Overload program. You can learn more about it at rowilruelo.com. For client inquiries, resomarketingconsulting.com. And of course, add me on Facebook if you want to. If you find value in this, in this podcast.
Yeah, I can vouch for Will. Kaya I attended his seminar. That's how I met him.
If you find value.
It was a live seminar pa before.
8 hours pa. That was the most
whole day pa to, whole day.
Epic. Right now, we're not doing 8 hours. We're just doing 1 hour for 6 days.
But after that, I learned how to do Facebook ads, and I did it for our computer cafe and for the foundry.
Diba? Oh my God. It brings back memories. That's 2 years ago, Lex. 2 years ago. That's already 2 years ago. Yeah. So yeah, you can learn it yourself. Join the upgraded version of what Alex joined before. It's Leads Overload 6-day program. The link is in my website, rowilruelo.com.
How much is it?
How much is it right now? Yeah. So right now we've changed the entire setup, and now it's 10,999. If you join, 10,999. But then if you
level up na yung pricing, bro.
As it should, because the results are really amazing. So people inside the program says that it's very cheap for the value that it provides.
I paid like 2,000 2 years ago. It was very sulit.
Lex, inflation, Lex.
Inflation.
The law of economics apply now. When there's a high demand, the price goes up. But
I'm so glad I was able to attend before at 2000.
Yeah. I'm also glad then, because that's where I met you, and my wife and I found the best real estate broker in Philippines.
Mga yung testimony din. I'll follow your advice.
30-minute testimony if you want.
Oh. So I'll ask for a testimony from you, and I'll post it on my page.
Yeah,
my
for
YouTube,
sure.
My YouTube channel.
I think I should record like a testimonial of this kaning podcast ba, like for future na like outreach nimo sa uban nimo speakers, like how was the interview experience. Charing.
Sige,
magbuot lagi.
Sige, tagay kog testimonial ba?
Sige. Sige.
About my real estate services.
Yeah, sure. Sige ba? Mag-record ko.
Sige. And then just send me kamunduhan yan. Para couple yan.
Why problema? Asa ikaw?
Sige, and then just send me the video.
Okay.
And then I'll just post it.
Sige ba?
Yeah, first testimonial first because I actually used to ask for testimonials before, but more on lang, like they would just text it to
text
me
lang.
or they would PM. But video testimonials are much more powerful, Manggood.
That's true. Sige lang kay duha ba kayo nito mo nakuha. Charing! Sige lang para makaingon sila nga dato ko ba. Palit siya mga kondo-kondo.
Duha pag ikabok.
Sige lang, maripora na.
Ato na lang ibaligya before maripo.
Oh, damn. Oh, my wife problema. Napakoy lain. Napakoy lain question.
Muna ning answer. Muna to ang last. That was actually the last question.
Yeah. Ganaan gigog mga webinar. Kanang mga inani bitong podcast.
Yeah, lingaw no.
Lingaw kayo.
Thank you so much for being a guest on my channel.
Yeah, thank you for allowing me to.
Balik-balik. Next month na po.
Next month. Ako na po yung mag-interview sa imo. Mag-podcast
sige.
ko. Alright, salamat kay Lex.
Sige, thank you so much. Thank you so much
for being a guest
on my channel. Yeah, I'll send you a copy. I'll post it.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, pa-edit po na ako. Alright. Bye-bye na.
Bye.
Oy, screenshot.
Sige.
Okay,
wait
bye.
Again.
Yan.
Okay.
Sige. Bye, Lex.
Thanks, Will. Bye.
Bye-bye.